Hey, Hilltoppers! So great to see you today. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have some really weird stuff to show you. So weird. Do you want to see it? It's super strange. We're going to learn about an artist today that made some art like you've probably never ever seen. And let me warn you, it is goofy. But if I know Hilltoppers, I know you like goofy. So let's check it out. Today, we're learning about an artist named Giuseppe Acramboldo. He lived a long, long time ago, like really long. He was born in 1526 in Italy. So that's like almost 500 years ago. In case you're not sure where Italy is, let's check it out. See the little heart on the map? That's where we are in Minnesota. And if you follow the long yellow arrow, it will lead you all the way to that boot-shaped country called Italy over there in Europe. Now, Giuseppe Acramboldo's dad was an artist. So Giuseppe grew up helping his dad make stained glass windows and frescoes, which are kind of a fancy type of mural. He grew up and became a really great artist himself. So great, in fact, that the Roman emperor chose him to be the court painter. That means that he painted pictures of the royal family so they could hang them on the walls and feel all fancy. But what he was most famous for were the paintings that he did that were, how do I say it? They're portraits, but they're not made of real people. They're kind of like riddles. They're bizarre, they're imaginative. And that was perfect because in the 1500s, people really liked riddles and puzzles. So let's look at our first set of portraits by Giuseppe Acramboldo and see if we can solve the riddle. Ooh, did I freak you out? So freaky. So these are 4 portraits, but as you can see, they're humans made of objects. In this case, objects from nature. See flowers in the first one, fruits, vegetables, branches. Have you figured out the riddle? These 4 portraits represent spring in the top left corner, summer in the top right, autumn in the bottom left, and winter in the bottom right. Let's take a closer look. This is the spring portrait. You can see lots of little flowers just starting to bloom. Maybe some of you are seeing this outside by your house too. Then in summer, we see the fruits are starting. A lot of the berries and juicier fruits start happening in the summer, and we see some beautiful wheat growing as well for this person's clothing. Then when the fall time comes, we see that there's the leaves changing and the pumpkin up there on the head because the squash are getting real big by autumn time. And we even see some wood along the bottom for the person's clothes, kind of like what a basket for harvesting would be made out of. And lastly, the creepiest one is the winter portrait. We can see branches with no leaves, maybe a little moss growing. But what you also might notice is a lemon and an orange hanging off the front of the person. And that's because in warmer climates, for example, like in our country in California, wintertime is actually a great time to grow citrus fruits like lemons and oranges. All right, let's look at another little riddle here. We've got 4 more portraits. And I'll give you a moment to take a look at them and see what each one might represent. Have you figured it out yet? Each one represents a different element in the world. Air for the top left with all the birds, because birds fly in the air. Fire in the top right. Earth in the bottom left, we see a lot of land animals, and water in the bottom right, where we see a lot of ocean animals. Let's take a closer look at these creepy portraits. There's the air portrait. I see so many teeny tiny birds. I feel like if they all started squawking, this would be the loudest portrait ever, right? That peacock sure is pretty. This is the fire portrait. I love the way the flames look in the hair with all the embers on the scalp. You can see one of the lips, the bottom lip is like a flame from an oil lamp. We see some like a candle wick on the forehead and a candle in the eye. I believe the nose is a metal device they would use to make a spark so that they could um, light a fire. See, the neck is one giant candle. And then on the bottom, there's a lot of objects made of metal. Can you guess why there might be metal in the fire portrait? That's right, because to make things out of metal, you need to melt it down. So you need some hot fire to make things out of metal. Let's look at the earth portrait. Here we see lots of land animals. What do you see in there? I see a bunny on the nose, a cheetah on the chin, a donkey on the cheek. Oh, an elephant is what the eye is with the big elephant ear. Can you find the monkey? It's way in the back of the head, kind of up high. There's that little monkey. Oh, and this is the grossest one. This is the ocean. Well, at least it's gross kind of to me. This is the water portrait. So it's got all kinds of animals that live in the water. Can you find the octopus? Yeah, it's on the shoulder. Can you find the beautiful pearls? Yeah, pearls come out of oysters in the sea, at the bottom of the sea. I see also a turtle, some seashells, lobster. I see a toad down there on the chest too. That's pretty cool. Ooh, and a pearl earring. I think my favorite part is on the top of the head, all the beautiful bright red coral coming up top. Pretty cool. But also pretty weird, right? So here's your assignment for today. You're going to make your own portrait, but out of objects you can find around your house. Here's some examples that I made in my house. You guys, I had so much fun with this. I was just going to make one portrait, but I ended up making like 3 or 4. I think this is my favorite one. I took some tools from my toolbox and made like a mad face. For this one, I made a person out of jewelry. If you guys know me, you know I love a good piece of jewelry, right? But of course, art supplies are my favorite, so I had to make a portrait out of art supplies. What do you think I would look like if I had that kind of rainbow hair, all spiky like that? Pretty cool? Okay, maybe when you come back to school, Miss Hans will have rainbow hair like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can also come up with your own ideas. Maybe you want to make a nature portrait like the one we see on the left here. Or you might want to make a food portrait or a fruit portrait like the one we see on the right. You can use really simple materials as long as it's all the same type of thing, as long as the face is all made of food items or nature items. They all belong to the same category. All right, guys, until next time, bye.